I try to stay lively. A man must. You know, sex is not a spectator sport. It's a contact sport. You've got to stay lively. If I have any message for men here, it's don't worry about age. My God, it doesn't matter. You can still, if you try. I like to stay modern. I like to have a mirror in the bedroom. When I make love to my wife, I have a mirror in the bedroom. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Stick it under her nose, see if she's still breathing. Because my wife's not as keen on it as I am. I'm being very honest with you. She's about 10 years younger than me. She feels old age creeping up on her whenever I can manage it. She's not as keen. But I stay very, very lively. You've got to keep the stamina going. Do you know, I made love to my wife. Forgive me being so personal with you, but I'm telling you the truth now. I made love to my wife. It was a Saturday night, March the 28th, I think. It's in the diary. I mean, considering the age I am, listen to this. I made love to my wife for 1 hour and 3 minutes. I'm not kidding you. I'm not talking about wimpy hand-holding. I'm talking about passionate, ardent lovemaking. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the real thing. For 63 minutes. It's absolutely incredible. It's not a joke. I just had to tell somebody. Thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you for your applause. For those of you who didn't applaud, all right, it was the night we put the clocks forward, but... That's not the point. That's academic. See, my wife, she smokes. Now, I know a lot of you ladies like a cigarette, and maybe your favorite cigarette is the one you have after an interlude of romantic dalliance, but my wife doesn't smoke after. During. She smokes... She smokes during. I'm not kidding you. She smokes before, during, and after. Frequently the same cigarette, I'm sorry to say. But you shouldn't do that to a man. A man is all ego. He can't stand that kind of thing. You know, I'm trying to make love to the woman, trying to be entertaining, and in my face. It's bad enough she's wearing the Walkman headset, for God's sake. Learning Spanish in her spare time, thank you very much. Oh, I've got used to it. I can put up with the smoke and the ash. What's killing me? It's balancing that cold ashtray on my ass. I tell you. When she misses with that hot ash, she does that deliberately, you know that? Got blue tack marks all over the back of the spine. I do my best, try to be Casanova. I'll be making love tonight when I get home. First time in 6 weeks I've been home. You know what she'll be doing apart from smoking? Watching television. It's true, she watches television. I'm making love to the woman, she's watching television. Over my shoulder, she's not peeping. She's looking, watching television. And changing channels. That's what annoys me, she changes channels. Yeah, changes bloody channels. And as you know, we no longer have a remote control. I'm a senior citizen. I'm too old to be carried around the room like that. You've seen what a powerful woman she is, my God. When she did the splits there, I bet you were impressed, weren't you? I think of getting a vasectomy. I am. I'm going to get a vasectomy. Well, it doesn't seem fair somehow, using live ammunition on a dead target. I do my best, ladies, I swear to God. I do my utmost. Before I went away 6 weeks ago, I tried to keep my wife happy. I really did, because I don't want anyone stealing her. She's very precious to me. And I took her to an Ann Summers. Do you know these shops? You ever heard of these shops? If you know about them, you know about them. If you don't know about them, let me explain. They're sex shops. They don't sell sex. They're completely blank shop fronts. You can't see anything in the window. They can't put anything in the window because they sell martial aids. This is for people who are... Don't laugh at it. Don't mock if you don't understand. These are wonderful things. Lonely men can go in there. They can buy things that comfort them. You know, crime would take place. If it would, they're little comforting things you can buy in these shops like Lovable Lulu. Do you know about Lovable Lulu? This is a flat-pack vinyl woman, a polyvinyl woman, flat-pack polyvinyl woman. And it says on the box, and they should get them, under the Trade Descriptions Act, they should have them. Because it says on the box, just like a real woman. How many real women do you know sleep like this? Okay, 2, 3, oh, 5, okay. Okay, 11, okay. That's not the point I'm making. Sleeping with balloons. For shame. Like, the man takes this thing back to, I don't know, some privacy, some hidey hole, some hotel room probably, and he inflates it, apparently, I understand. He uses, I imagine, a bicycle pump, I should think, if he's wise. If you're trying to do it with your own breath, he gives you stars in front of your eyes, you can't do anything for an hour. God, I must have sat in the toilet for nearly 2 hours. And you can't get passionate with it. I bit mine on the neck, it farted and flew out the window. God, it had gone out the window. Bloody gone. No satisfaction in that. Buy these vibrators. Have you seen these things? I'm not talking about shoddy goods, don't be ashamed. I'm talking about beautiful artifacts. These vibrators, they say they're for your neck. Get out of here. Yeah, 35 horsepower, rope starter. Oh, you buy your wife one of these, you come home, you're an anticlimax still. They're beautifully made, they're lovely. In onyx and ivory and silver and gold. My wife said, I want the red one. I said, that's the fire extinguisher, don't even ask him. They got books there. I bought her books. She doesn't know anything about these things. I bought her Sex Without Guilt and Sex Without Fear. I was looking for a book for myself, Sex Without Partners, that's what I'm looking for. No, it's a handbook, I couldn't find it. And I'm at the airport. Laurie, I get to the airport because I'm catching a very early plane in the morning. She's phoning me at the hotel. She's read the books already. I mean, she couldn't wait. Got to do this. We've got to have, what is it? We've got to have mutual orgasm. My God, we can't even get our toast to pop up at the same time. What's a lesbian, she said. She's never heard of it. I said, don't worry about it. Lesbians are very lucky. Neither of them has to sleep on the wet spot. Leave it at that. You can learn things from these books. You can learn things I never knew. Did you know female midgets can't use tampons because they trip on the string? Did you know? I was amazed. There's things you never think of, aren't they? I went to see the doctor before I went away 6 weeks ago. I tell you, I was nervous. I wasn't going to fool around, I knew that. No, I wasn't. Because these days you fool around, you can catch infections that kill you. You know this. I'm so nervous about this virus. I'll tell you how nervous I am. I'm wearing a condom now. I'm really scared. I went to see this doctor. I went privately. I'll give you the information for nothing. I don't like to see this man. I don't go willingly to see my doctor. He's weird. Wants me to grab him and cough. There's something wrong. He gave me a complete rectal examination. Later I thought, why were both his hands on my shoulders? Still can't figure that out. The reason I went to him was this. I was afraid that I could catch this disease of which we speak by accident. Because do you remember, in the old days, a guy would come back from overseas, maybe he'd been in the forces, the Navy, the Army, the Air Force, the Marines, and he'd caught a little infection, a little social inconvenience, an itch. And he'd say, well, I don't know how I got this. I haven't been with anyone. I must have got it off a toilet seat. Do you remember this? Getting it off a toilet seat? This was VD. Do you remember VD? My God, it seems adorable now, doesn't it? So I said to him, is it possible an innocent man such as myself could catch this terrible disease from a toilet seat? And do you know what he said? Do you know what he said? Yes. Yes. He said, if you sit down before the other fellows got up. You need eyes in the back of your head. See, because if the other fellow was still sitting there and you came along... I say to you sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, life can get tough, but then I think about some of my finest relatives, my oldest relative, my Uncle Sidney, and his courage and the way, his tenacity for life. He's 92. My Uncle Sidney's been a manual worker all his life, carpenter, and now he's 92. He stains floors. He doesn't mean to. But my Auntie Rose said, whenever you're in the area, pop in and see your Uncle Sidney, because he could go at any time. And he does, you see. I bought him this little gadget. This little gadget vibrates. It goes bing every 4 hours. It reminds him to go to the toilet so he won't have a little embarrassing accident, because he's a wonderful old man. And of course, in the middle of the night, I worry about that. So I said to Uncle Sidney, and this is the reason I'm telling you the story, because what he said was beautiful. I said, Uncle Sidney, is it all right for you when you have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the toilet? And he said, God comes with me in the night. Isn't it beautiful when old people have faith like that? And I said, I'm sure God does come with you in the night, Uncle Sidney. And he said, I know he does because he switches the light on for me. And I thought, He says, I have a Jimmy Riddle. God switches the light off. I go back to bed. I got my Auntie Rose on one side. I said, is Uncle all right? He thinks when he gets up in the middle of the night to have a pee, God switches the light on and off for him. She said, oh, Christ, he's doing it in the fridge again. So I didn't bother with the boiled ham. You look so good from up there on the stage. I thought you wouldn't mind if I came down and had a slightly closer look. Thank you. Hello. What's your first name?
Veronica.
Veronica. I'll call you Vera. Leave the knickers off. I love your hair. It's so bouncy, it's so beautiful. May I touch it? It's okay? God, that brings back memories. Do you know? What is wrong with you people? Pull yourselves together. May I say hello? Wouldn't worry. What's your first name?
Sally.
Sally. Do you know what Sally means? It means purity. The fellow with you looks astounded. It bloody does. If it doesn't, it's your fault. Did you understand any of my jokes tonight, Sally?
Yes, thank you.
Shame on you, Sally. I have a Gideon Bible backstage. I shall take you there after the show. I shall ram the fear of God into you tonight, my child. Chance would be a fine thing, he says. Of course, the monkey thought if the elephant's thinking... Oh, you finally begin to sink in. How do you, sir? Lagged your face for the winter and forgot to take it off. You mind if I feel it? You sure you don't mind? Because there's no paper in the toilet backstage. I'm only kidding, sir. Hello. You look very beautiful. What's your first name?
Maureen. Maureen.
Morden. Marlene. I got it. Marlene.
Maureen.
Mardine.
Maureen.
Maureen. Maureen, I finally got it. Maureen, I always wanted to join the Maureen. Now I wish I had. Does he call you Moore for short or not that often these days? This is your handbag? Oh, could you turn off your vibrator, please, for me? May I say hello? What's your first name?
Catherine.
Catherine, do you know the meaning of the name?
No.
God's child. Literally, God's child. Did you understand any of these naughty jokes?
Some of them.
Shame on you, child. Get me to a nunnery. Better still, come to an old monkhouse. You know, I love to meet the ladies because women are my downfall and my blessing. When a man's on tour, you know, traveling around on the road, longs for companionship, and sometimes in the wee small hours of the morning, you can find yourself in some strange night spot, just looking for a little company. I was once in Dublin, and I met a Molly Malone. There's a traditional name for you. God, he plays well for a man who's stone deaf. He thinks I'm singing right now. Do you? I was sitting at the bar in this little Irish all-night drinking club. They had a stripper in the bar, but they'd taken the label off and called it vodka. I was on my fifth. Over in the shadows, a man was tinkling on the piano, and you could see the pianist wasn't very pleased about it. He was pissed off. Well, first he was pissed on, then he was pissed off. And then I saw her, Molly Malone, seated in the shadows at the end of the bar. I felt she was looking for a good time. I don't know why I felt that. Perhaps it was the mattress strapped to her back that suggested. I moved towards her gently. That doesn't really describe it. You had to be there. I glided. I used my charm like a sledgehammer. I showed no mercy. I said, "Good evening. Do you like cocktails?" She said, "Yes, tell us one." So I told her one. She didn't laugh. She said, "What do you do for a living?" I said, "I'm a surgeon for insects. Perhaps you'd allow me to show you the inside of a fly." She said, "You're joking, surely. What do you do really for a living?" I said, "I'm a stunt driver." "Oh," she said, "I bet you're hard on tires." I said, "I bet you it doesn't." She said, "Now, if I were a cigarette holder and you was a cigarette, would you mind using a filter?" I said, "Would you mind if I wasn't king size?" She said, "I'll lay you 10 to 1. I said, "No, lay me 10 to 12. I want to get to bed by then." Now I was thinking maybe she's on the game. I said, "Are you going to charge me?" She said, "No, I'll walk slowly towards you if you're nervous." And at that moment, two coincidences occurred. The first coincidence was I'd read in the paper that very morning that you could catch the infection of which we've already spoken from saliva. And I'd forgotten that for the moment. Did you know that? I didn't know that. From saliva. And I thought, no, the whole thing's off. No kissing, nothing. And at that moment, the other coincidence occurred. She said something with peas in it. A particularly pleasant experience. And a little bit of spit flew out of her mouth and landed in my eye. I thought, what have I got to lose? So I went with her. Oh, I'm not a fool. I took precautions. I wore goggles. And that's how Molly Malone brought me alive. Alive, oh, alive, alive, oh. She brought my cockles and muscles alive, alive, oh. Too good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I thank you from the heart of my bottom. Damn. For your God bless you for whatever that was. You're a terrific audience, and I thank you very much. To those of you who stood, that's the greatest compliment you can pay any entertainer. I thank you so much for that. I thank the ladies sitting ringside for allowing me to poke so much fun at them. Thank you, male companions, for not giving me a knuckle sandwich on the way round. You girls have a great sense of humor. You wouldn't be with these men. It's so terrific to be in your company, particularly on a night when we're making a video. It really has been a joy to share your time. You know, I particularly enjoyed your presence, sir, and the joy we've had exploring the monkey joke together. I'd like to share your very generous applause, if I may, ladies and gentlemen, with not only 6 of the finest musicians I've ever worked with anywhere, but also 6 of the nicest guys you could wish to meet in any profession. Alas, none of these 12 men could be here at the Lakeside. They're all in bed with Sid Lawrence auditioning, so instead may I draw your unwelcome attention, ladies and gentlemen, the musicians you see here. 2 on brass, 1 on synthesizer, 1 on drums, 1 on bass, 1 on piano. 3 on canvas, all 6 on probation. Ladies and gentlemen, the Laurie Holloway Sextet. They're a wonderful crowd. It's marvelous, you know, how the world changes. I was looking back at the whole of my life, and I realized the changes are very profound. In everybody's life this happens, but the curious things happen. Like when I was a young man, we went on the stage, if you used words like I've used tonight, I haven't said the F word, and I won't, because I don't do that on stage. But I do say a word like bloody. Back in the 50s, when you did that in Variety, if you said bloody, if you were earning 20 quid a week, suddenly you were earning 19, they fined you. They fined you. Now today, I can't get over the fact I'm allowed to, a little freedom, say all kinds of things, and you like it. It's marvelous. It's honest. You can say things like condom. I never knew what that word meant until about 5 years ago. Did you know what it was? I never knew what it was. A packet of 3. I called it a packet of 3. You always called it a packet of 3. It's a packet of 3. That's something for the weekend. That's the other phrase. That's something for the weekend. That's a packet of 3. Why a packet of 3? Who invented the packet of 3? Have you ever known at one single occasion, gentlemen, when you've actually needed 3? I've sometimes thought I might need 2, but not right after I'd used the first one. But now, of course, there's no more packet of 3. Those Belgian Eurocrats have ruled that we can't have the English packet of 3, the good old British packet of trio. That's gone now. Something for the weekend can't be a packet of 3. You know about this? It's got to be a packet of 6, a packet of 9, or a packet of 12. Ladies, the packet of 6 is to accommodate our friends in the European common market from Greece. You know those Greek fellas, they use 1 packet a week. They say it goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, never on the Sunday. The packet of 9, well, that, we understand from the French fellas, is what they use once a week. Oh, it's a packet of 9, once a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday. Oh, ho, 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 ho. But the packet of 12. Gentlemen, sit tall and proud in your seats here tonight at the Lakeside. The packet of 12 was created for the British male, yes. For you and me, yes, sir. For the British male, the packet of 12. January. I'll settle for the packet of 4. Spring. So it's been great being with you, I tell you that. And we kept it clean. We kept it clean. No difficulty. Hey, there was no mystery here, my friends. We made history here, my friends. And what made it a sheer delight was keeping it clean tonight. Here's a tough phrase to get out. Let's not pick and fuss about. Oh, don't try to say that if you're tight and keeping it clean tonight. There's been no rudeness, no crudeness. It's a Monkhouse culture shock. I felt as funky as a monkey who has got an elephant's clock. And he got the thingy, and he took it, and he went out, and the female monkey said, wow, that was a good joke. Wasting my time with you, yeah. Though I may be just a dunce, hey, I haven't said that F word once. Though when I get home, I might have been keeping it clean tonight. Yeah, keeping it clean. If you know what I mean, I've been keeping it clean. Tonight, good night, good night, good night, good night. Yeah.